Hi there, Original Soul. Welcome in to this reading. I hope you are doing super well and thank you for being here. Let's go ahead and jump into the oracle cards, and then we'll add some tarot to it and come up with an affirmation at the end. All right, so we'll jump right in. At the top of this reading, we've got Eagle, number 16. And the Sun, number 53. And I love it when one card references the other. I think the first sentence in the book for this Eagle card mentioned that Eagle is from the east, from the land of the sun. And so we've got both of those right next to each other. So both of these cards do talk about maybe getting a little bit bigger, a little bit brighter. Eagle is soaring high above with a really nice overview, a big perspective, right? Not really seeing everything as obstacles, but more like opportunities with clarity, right? With that sharp eyesight. And then the sun, the same thing, is not staying small, shining bright, right? Using your passion and your heat. Also maybe getting outside and getting into nature as well. So if you're feeling a little stuck or small and just sort of in some sort of rut, or maybe even bored with your routine or something like that, right, it's time to shake that up a little bit, maybe bring in some fun. If you're running into what you might feel are obstacles and challenges, right, how can you look at what you can learn from that and how you could maybe flow a little bit easier through that? All right, in the center row, 3 cards wanted to come out. Pluto transformation, which came out in reverse, number 11. Heart of fortune in the center, number 45. Increase. And then second house, number 26, owning. All right, so with these, because transformation, Pluto came out in reverse. Maybe, again, there's been some sort of lack of change or lack of transformation. There might be some sort of situation that you're involved in that you've wanted to change or you've wanted to be different. Last week's affirmation was actually I embrace change. So I don't know if anything has shifted for you or not, but that could just be, again, being stuck or things maybe not shifting the way that you had hoped or had wanted. And so that's sort of a kind of past or coming into this reading energy. Right, so it's time to flip that around. Pluto is about death and rebirth. What did it also say? Sex and like sexual energy has come out, fertility a lot lately as well. So this talked about this could be about sex or not enough sex or strange sex, I think it said. So I don't know, for someone out there, maybe that's an energy that's been prevalent recently. And like I mentioned, death, rebirth, transformation. For some of you, there could be something to do with like inheritance or money or something possibly related to maybe the passing of a loved one. Obviously, that's not necessarily going to be for everybody. And of course, my condolences if you have lost somebody and have had to go through something like that in your recent past here. But both part of fortune and second house, part of fortune is like the luck, like you're being gifted something, maybe even a talent or something kind of surfaces or comes up. Maybe you take a class and suddenly you realize you're really good at something and you didn't quite know you had this natural ability for it. But this definitely is like luck is on your side. So if you've been feeling stuck or stagnant, bored, again, like you've been in some kind of a rut, right? Maybe things are turning around a little bit in that respect as well. So an increase. So making sure too, whatever energy you're putting out there, you want to get back, right? Because that will be amplified, right? So make it good, make it positive, make it exciting. And then with second house owning, and this is about your resources, can be about your home, your finances, like literal money or energy resources. Second house is ruled by Taurus, so it's also about beauty, even pleasure, the comforts of the 3D world, right? So you may be getting some sort of raise or a bonus, or maybe you get a job offer that puts you up to some kind of different level, whether that's, more money or just something that you're really excited about. So you have this like abundance of energy and excitement, which are also resources as well. Let's see here. And so for some of you, you could have your Pluto or your part of fortune in the second house. If you follow along with anything about your specific birth chart, my part of fortune is actually in the second house, so I better pay attention to this reading. All right, then at the bottom here, two wanted to come out of the crystal deck, so quite a few cards wanted to jump out from each deck that I shuffled up today. But take a look at these. We've got Shiva lingham, and then epidote. I'm gonna go with epidote. All right, so let me read a little bit from each of these. I actually do have a Shiva lingam. It's not quite as phallic as they may typically be. It is sort of a phallic shaped stone. So like I mentioned, we do have some of this sexual fertility energy coming out. Mine is a little bit more round. You can kind of see that maroon and then kind of tan brown color there, sometimes even a little bit gray. All right, so with Shiva lingam, let's see here. The tagline on this card, go all in on your essence. So that goes with the sun and eagle, right? Maybe it's time to take a risk on something or put yourself out there a little bit more, but really just going all in. When to use it. When your ego has you feeling too small or totally supersized. When it seems like you're sucking life force through a swizzle stick instead of a boba straw. When you've got baby making on your mind. All right, so for some of you, maybe working with this stone, Shiva lingam, might be helpful for you and your energy. And then epidote, upgrade your version of you. So again, I feel like that also goes with eagle and sun. We've got upgrade and increase with part of fortune. And the second house owning. So again, maybe some sort of upgrade is coming in. Again, maybe you find a new gift, or you're gifted something, or you finally decide to share or express some talent that you have. This one is really pretty, sort of this really beautiful sort of green yellow color. Let's see here. When to use it. When you're looking to kick a bad habit, a bad friend, or a bad mood. When you want to cast a spotlight on your weaknesses so you can work on them. And I feel like this also goes with Pluto transformation, and the fact that came out in reverse. So maybe there is some sort of bad habit, bad friend, bad mood, bad energy that you want to shift to be good, right? You want to get an increase. All right, so those are the two crystals. Before we get to the tarot, let's do spirit animal. So this week, horse came out with freedom. You must break out of any limitations that are holding you back, whether they are self-imposed or put on you by other people or society. Break free and run faster towards your dreams. I love that card. Right? That's what Eagle wants you to do. The sun wants you to shine. Right? Pluto wants you to transform. So it's time to get an increase or an amplification on what you want. Start to go after those things, especially if you have been feeling limited and bogged down for whatever reason. Right? You are the one that can change that. All right, and then from the Angel Tarot deck, Angel Caliel, number 18, the Justice card, the invocable God. Justice makes truth known in court, causes innocence to prevail. All right, so for some of you, maybe you do have some sort of legal matter too, and maybe this is going to go in your favor, right? Luck is on your side, or justice is on your side, I should say in this case, right? The truth is coming out, and maybe you even get some sort of settlement from that as well. Okay, but the scale's tipping in your favor. So if you've really felt like things have been unfair, or just really difficult and hard, right? Like you're always kind of swimming upstream or fighting for kind of every little thing that you've earned or that you get, right? Things are going to get a little bit easier. Justice is coming in. And again, maybe that even comes into you in some sort of financial rewards, which would be awesome. All right, and then from Archangel Michael, sense of humor. I feel like we've gotten this card a few times. Thank you for helping me see the humor in this situation so I can lovingly laugh at human nature. I am willing to view my experience in a new light in order to attract love and healing energy. All right, and the Sun card did talk about bringing in more fun, getting more lighthearted, kind of that warmth energy. Just think of someone who has like one of those awesome laughs that's contagious, or when you do something where you're just like belly laughing, right? I love that. So especially if things have been serious for you, or again, like I said, you just feel like you're in a rut, right? It's time to shake it up, do something fun. Archangel Michael is reminding us of that. Okay. All right, let's add some tarot to it to get a little bit more information. Yeah, maybe there's been a little bit of conflict or competition, arguing, combativeness in your sphere. Time to kind of take yourself out of that, maybe go with the flow a little bit better. Gonna worry about your energy and how you're showing up. All right, let's see here. Oh, that's way too many. I'm gonna have to pick those up. Let's see here. Oh, what do we got here on the floor? We've got Wheel of Fortune, so that word fortune coming out a couple times. Nurturing energy. Yeah, the Four of Pentacles was stealing. I don't know if someone has been stealing from you, but justice is coming in and you're going to get back what was taken. Yeah, Judgment, the Sun. Wow. Happiness. Okay, we'll put those back. We'll try this again. We'll see if I can be a little less sloppy. But a lot of those cards that I was just flipping through are sort of mirroring this energy. I love that. Things turning in your favor. Luck being on your side. Okay. All right, so what was Eagle talking about? Getting a different perspective, a bigger perspective. That's what the Hangman is all about. Also, like I mentioned with Pluto and transformation coming out in reverse, that maybe there's been feeling stuck. I've said that a few times, feeling in a rut, or like something's been delayed, things haven't been changing, right? Both of those can be meanings from the Hanged Man card. All right, so really tapping into Eagle energy this week to try to see things a little bit differently, right? Easier said than done. But if your mind tends to play like the same story or the same thought process, right, again, getting out of your routine could shake things up and even switch up your mind a little bit. Try to look at things just in a different way of what you can learn. Yeah, with the Hierophant, for some of you, this could be something to do with a marriage or a relationship, or maybe you just feel really oppressed from like society or some sort of religious doctrine, or you know, even kind of political figures or things like that. Yeah, so in some sort of traditional sort of situation where you're just feeling bored. Look how there's that cup, just like the Ace of Cups coming out from this cloud, right? The universe is trying to show you or offer you something. And it's really more, again, being in that stuck energy, kind of looking at the past or maybe what was or what hasn't worked out, and really, right, even arms crossed there. Like not accepting things, or maybe, again, you're the one who's maybe not willing to do things a little bit differently, or that could be somebody else. All right, but the Hierophant, the symbol he's making with his hand, right, there are blessings coming in, right? The universe is literally trying to show you something or hand you something here. So getting out of any of that, like I said, down energy, or if you're focusing on the things that didn't work out, it's time to start looking at the things that have worked out or how you want them to work out. Getting more into that hopeful energy, right, and feeling less stuck emotionally. Right, so shining a little bit brighter. And again, like Archangel Michael said, find something to laugh about. Do something fun. All right, let's see here. All right, and then the sun coming out again. So double sun energy. Beautiful. All right, so that is shining bright. Again, shining a light. What card said that on? Is it this one? Yeah, casting a spotlight, maybe on what you perceive to be some of your weaknesses. But once you work on those, they actually end up being strengths. Again, having more fun, getting creative, doing something exciting or different or new. Maybe again, this is even a truth coming to light and coming out that really has that feeling of freedom, as we've got horse here. Right, something that makes your inner child, or sometimes, you know, I like to call it your original soul, your inner child, just sing with joy, happiness. So something is opening up. Something is ready to change and transform if it hasn't already. And this is going to bring you a lot of freedom, a lot of happiness, a lot of joy. All right, let's see here. All right, 8 of Cups. With part of fortune increase, like I mentioned, for some of you, you could be getting some sort of new job or new offer. This may lead you down a totally new path, walking away from whatever these 8 cups are, but going towards the 9 of Cups, going towards your happiness, your joy. Yeah, you could even have sort of an increase in your resolve to go after what you want. That's what all of these cards are urging you to do. All right, let's see here. And there could be multiple opportunities that present themselves to you. Right, like if you do hit some sort of block or challenge or obstacle, right, it all depends how you see that and how you look at that. Like Eagle takes everything as an opportunity with more clarity and focus. Right, so sometimes obstacles are a way to build strength, and you usually learn something through that when you get out on the other side. Right, other obstacles may be a sign for you to shift your path and go a different route or a different direction. Right, maybe instead of having to climb all the way up the mountain, there's a way to go around it, or a path that's right through it that you didn't notice before. All right, so something coming in that's going to open up your new path and have you walking towards something that you're definitely more passionate about, which sounds awesome. All right, with second house owning Page of Pentacles. I love this. I was mentioning, like, maybe you take a class and you find you have a new talent. This is also about planting seeds and taking some practical steps. The second house owning card mentioned that as well. So maybe there's some plans that you need to make or that you have made, and now they're starting to shift and set in motion. That Wheel of Fortune and part of fortune is working in your favor. And this could be you following your personal truth. And, you know, pages are willing to learn. So again, learning from your experience, your experiences. And they're also kind of starting out something fresh and new, right? Once he plants this seed, this whole earth and ground is going to be sprouting, right? Some new plants, a new garden. Maybe you're even into gardening and growing your own foods and things like that as well. So this is setting those intentions and taking those steps for the harvest that you want. All right, so some sort of increase and abundance definitely coming in, even if that has taken a long time or been a little bit slow. But yeah, things are doubling up. There's the one pentacle here, the Page of Pentacles, and then I'm noticing the 2 coins at the top there. So, right, maybe your finances double, or your opportunities double, or your gifts increase, and something becomes a little bit greater than it was before. All right, let's see here. All right, King of Swords coming out with horse and freedom. So this could be breaking out of a stuck mindset. Maybe you need to detach yourself from something. The King of Swords can be a card of detachment. It can talk about divorce even. Both of these cards could be about sort of leaving a situation, or, you know, moving on to something different, but making a solid choice. And facing your issue, or maybe it is what you perceive as your weaknesses or whatever challenges you may be facing, but facing that head on. Right? Notice how when you do that, that gives you a sense of freedom. Once you finally address something or deal with something, right, that weight gets lifted off your shoulders. You can finally put whatever that might be to rest. And then you're free to move towards what you want, what you're hoping for. All right, King of Cups coming out with epidote and Shiva lingham. All right, so upgrading the version of you and going all in on your essence. I love that with the King of Cups, right? Because this is a good balance of masculine and feminine energy, right? This on the card is a king, a male, but he's in touch with his emotions and feelings. Right, and now he's holding that cup that was over here being offered through the cloud that maybe has been pushed away, or you haven't been willing to either share or take on or acknowledge. Yeah, and look how calm, right, the king is sitting on the stone throne in the middle of water, but it's not sinking. There's a lot of turbulent waters behind this king, but again, he's got all of his emotions in check. This isn't about burying your feelings. This is, right, after you've done that work, after you've kind of working to, like it said, upgrade yourself, to go all in on your essence. So really accepting yourself the way you are, finding a good blending internally. Right, for some of you, this could be Of course, some sort of either self-love or another person. Maybe there's a new partnership coming in as well that's definitely more fair, that's going to bring you an abundance of love, and that has you really, someone that sees you for who you really are and appreciates who you really are. All right, we'll get one here with justice, and then we'll come up with an affirmation. All right, let's see what we get here. All right, out came the star, healing, love that. Especially if you have felt like either you've been, like I said, I accidentally said stealing. I don't remember what I meant to say when that came up, but again, maybe something has been taken or stolen from you, or you just feel like things have not been fair, or you've had to really strategize so much just to get ahead a little bit. So whatever this justice is, whatever angel Caliel is here to assist with, right? This is going to bring in healing, bring in enlightenment, right? It's going to have you feeling grounded and solid, but also in touch with your emotions and feelings, just like the King of Cups. It's also going to have you willing to maybe share a little bit more and open up a little bit more. And then again, with the star, this could be you shining. This could be you, right, coming out on top. If this is a court case or some sort of situation, right, things go in your favor. For others of you, with the sun coming out twice, this could be you putting yourself out there a little bit more, and that is really successful, and it brings in a lot of abundance, and maybe you become known or recognized, right? Like you are the star shining bright. All right, what a really good reading here. I love this. A lot of awesome energy around and supporting you this week, or whenever you find this reading. All right, let's see here. So let's come up with the affirmation. Let me hold this Shiva lingham while we think about it. A lot of shift energy, a shift in your mindset, a shift in the way that you're showing up. But really a lot coming out here, I feel like, with gifts. So let's go with this. All right, affirmation for the week. I am gifted. All right, you are gifted. So what can you do this week to highlight your gifts? All right, these could be, again, talents that either you've kept subdued, or maybe you didn't even realize you have. So when you get out there and do something different or try to have some fun, right, maybe that loosens something up and brings some of your talents and gifts to the surface. This also could be gifts coming in towards you. Right? Maybe you are gifted something. Maybe you're gifted some money, or you do get a bonus, or things just start to show up like in your awareness and on your path, right, that start to just lead you down this journey of things just becoming unbelievable in the best way. And this also could be writing down what you are grateful for, looking around what you have right now and what you feel like is a gift in your life. All right, so that is the affirmation for the week. We are gifted. All right, I hope there was something here for you in this reading. If there was, leave me a comment, share about it, or give me a like or a subscribe. Right, I would love to hear from you. All right, but that's what we've got. And until next time, peace.